Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TriStar Gym channel. I hope my sound is loud and clear. As usual, please give me a thumbs up and let me know that the sound is loud and clear. And we're going to get started as usual. Hello, Galaxy. Abdul Salam. Yo, Dark T. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for letting me know. Today, guys, I got a supercomputer, AI supercomputer, one of my students, the button pushing master of the world. The man who created lighthouse.world, you guys can see that at the bottom of your screen. He's creating the search engine for virtual reality. So he's a big giant button pusher. He trains with me at the gym, and he gave me this incredible AI. You can ask it absolutely any question. So today I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe for fun today in my episode, we'll do coach versus AI. So any question you guys give to me, I'm going to punch it in this AI. I'm going to answer it first and then punch it in this AI. And we're going to do like a Gasparov versus Deep Blue here. Let's have some fun with it. See if this AI is as incredible as they tell me. They tell me it's so incredible. It can answer absolutely anything. And for fun, I punched in my first question. And my first question was, who is the best MMA coach? And this is what it wrote back to me. It says, it's difficult to say who the best MMA coach is, as different coaches excel in different areas and have different approaches to training. Some well-respected coaches in MMA, which include Greg Jackson, Coach Zahabi, Duke Rufus. Ultimately, the best coach for you will depend on your individual needs and goals as a fighter. Wow. What an answer. I got to say, I'm thoroughly impressed. Okay, guys, with that said, I literally honestly have this AI thing here. It's kind of mind-boggling. I asked it a bunch of questions. It's insanely precise. Guys, ask me, absolutely. Oh, coach, ask who's the best, Khabib or GSP? Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. Let's ask it. Hold on a second. Okay, who is the best? Who is the best? Khabib or George St. Pierre? Okay, let's see. Let's fire it away. I said I would answer first, but I'm gonna let the robot answer this one. Let's see here. It's generating. It's difficult to say who is the best, as it can be subjective and depends on personal opinions. Khabib Nurmagomedov and George St. Pierre are both highly accomplished and successful mixed martial artists, each with their own unique skills and accomplishments. Khabib Nurmagomedov is a Russian fighter and former UFC lightweight champion. He is known for his dominant wrestling and grappling skills and has a professional record of 29 wins and no losses. George St. Pierre is a Canadian fighter and former UFC welterweight champion and middleweight champion. He is known for his well-rounded skills and has a professional record of 26 wins and 2 losses. Both Khabib and GSP have had successful careers and are considered among the greatest fighters in history of MMA. It's ultimately up to the individual's opinion to decide who is the better fighter. Guys, I gotta say, it's a great answer. She gave a great answer, this computer. What can I say, man? This AI is really, really sophisticated. Super, super smart. Incredible. Give me something else to feed this thing. Ask, when is Conor McGregor coming back? Just gonna give me something with a real answer. Okay, that's too much of an open-ended question. It's just gonna give me some jumble about probability. Give me a real question, gentlemen. Here, let's punch any question. Ask this computer absolutely any question. Something with a definite answer. Okay, excuse me, guys. I gotta kick out some kind of robot here. I don't know what this is. Some kind of ad. Coach, I'm training bodybuilding and jiu-jitsu. I have a little MMA experience. What should I do to prepare for a fight in 1 year's time? Let's ask the supercomputer. How should I prepare for a MMA fight in 1 year's time? All right, let me give you my answer first. First thing you would do is wrestling, boxing, jiu-jitsu schedule, and running. Guys, I just released Strong and Stable Running. I'll probably make you do running, some sprints, and probably some stability training. Okay, that would be my answer. Okay, I'll give you a nice schedule that would kind of give you a mixed martial arts routine. Let's see what it says. Okay, I'm not going to read all. Train consistently. Damn it. It's stealing all my answers. Train consistently. Make sure to train regularly, ideally 5 days a week. This will help you build up your endurance, strength, and skill. Work on your weaknesses. Holy moly, this robot is incredible. This AI is incredible. Work on your weaknesses. Identify areas in your game that need improvement and focus on improving them. This might invoke more on working on striking, wrestling, or jiu-jitsu, for example. Get in shape. Make sure to focus on physical conditioning, as an MMA fight can be physically demanding. This might involve running, lifting weights, or doing other types of cardio and strength conditioning. Follow a healthy diet. 5, find a good coach. 6, rest and recover. Guys, AI is winning 1-0. It gave you a better and more detailed answer than I did. In my topic. Is this Deep Blue and Gasparov all over again? Ask about cancel culture. What should I ask it, guys? Be specific. This is a supercomputer. I'm telling you guys, I punched in a few questions. This is amazingly sophisticated technology. This AI is incredible. Let me ask it another question. Who are you? Who are you? What am I talking to here? All right, here it is. I'm an assistant. A large language model training by OpenAI. I am a computer program designed to assist users with tasks, provide information, and answer questions to the best of my ability. I do not have a physical body or presence and exist only as a set of algorithms and code. My main function is to provide users with help and accurate information and assistance. Wow. What do I call you? You can call me assistant. Guys, AI assistant. She wants to be called assistant. Wow. This thing is blowing my mind. Let me tell you something. This thing is giving you some incredible answers. I'm completely blown by AI assistant. I'm going to call it AI assistant. Artificial intelligence assistant. Guys, this thing is free, by the way. Okay. What data about me are you possibly selling? That's a good question. That's from Jonathan. Let me see if I can copy. Oh, hold on a second. That's a good question. Hold on, let's ask. Maybe he doesn't know how to tell a lie. Let's see. What data about me are you taking or possibly selling? I'm not able to take or sell any data about you. I sense a lie here, but okay. As I do not have the ability to collect or access data about users, I exist only to provide information and assistance to users to the best of my ability, and do not have the ability to store or transmit data. Wow, this AI is blowing my mind. Okay, this is a good question. Hold on, CryptoFam has a really, really nice question here. He's asking, is quantum computing a real threat to Bitcoin? This is a really, really important question. Guys, let's make sure. Is my Bitcoin totally as safe as I think it is? Let's see. Quantum computers have the potential to significantly increase the speed and power of certain types of computations, including those using cryptography. This has raised concern that quantum computers could potentially be used to break an encryption used in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, making them vulnerable to attack. However, it is important to note that quantum computers are still early in stages of development, and it is not clear how quickly they can advance on how widely they will be adopted. In addition, many experts believe that it may be possible to develop cryptographic methods that are resistant to attack by quantum computers. Not a definite answer. How do we solve world hunger? Wow. That's from Floyd. Oh, Floyd. Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. What will it answer? Damn, this thing's incredible, man. This AI is blowing my mind. Wow, it's popping off, guys. I never do this. I never put on my glasses, but this thing is blowing my mind. I'm going to put on my glasses here, guys. Go ahead, make fun of me. I don't care. Ending world hunger is a complex and multifaceted problem that requires a wide range of solutions. Some potential strategies for addressing world hunger include 1. Increasing food production. 2. Reducing food waste. 3. Solving distribution and access to food. In many parts of the world, food is available, but it is not widely accessible to those who need it due to economic, political, or logistical barriers. Working to remove these barriers and improve food distribution network could help to get more food to those who are hungry. 4. Addressing poverty and inequality. 5. Investing in nutrition. Improving access to nutrition food is critical for ensuring that people have the energy and nutrition they need to lead healthy and productive life. Guys, this thing is blowing my mind. What an answer. Ultimately, addressing world hunger will require a multifaceted and coordinated effort involving governments, international organizations, NGOs, and local communities. Wow. Wow. What an answer. Guys, I'm getting destroyed by this AI thing. I couldn't have come close to that answer. What an answer. Wow. How do I pull a kimura? I don't think she'll know. Ask why so many jiu-jitsu people pull guard. Okay, let me answer that question. Okay, that's an easy layup. Thanks for the layup. That's from Raul Duke. He's giving me an easy layup so I can even the score here with AI. AI likes to be called assistant. Okay, guys, I'll tell you why people pull guard. They're too lazy to learn how to wrestle. They think wrestling is too hard. The secret to learning wrestling is really, really simple. Warm up with a few grappling grounds on the ground. And once you're warmed up, start wrestling standing. That's what we do at the TriStar gym. We roll on the ground. We warm up. This is what freestyle wrestling clubs do. They warm up on the ground. When you're nice and sweaty, it's safe to wrestle. You won't get injured. And of course, you have to have competent wrestling instruction. Okay, that's super important. That's why we do wrestling technique literally every single day at TriStar. Wrestling technique and jiu-jitsu technique need to be melted into one. Okay, that's my answer. Let's see what AI does here. Excuse me, assistant. She wants to be called assistant. Uh-oh. She's never taken this long to produce an answer. I don't think she even knows what we're questioning. I don't even think she understands the answer. Guys, I believe it's 2-1 for AI. And I think I just scored there. She doesn't have an answer. She's just like, I just seen ... She's processing. AI takes one right on the chin. Ask it, does free will exist? That's from Scott Curry. Does free will exist? Guys, I'm going to say a straight yes. I'm not getting into a whole spiel. I'm referring to occasionalism or pre-established harmony. I've talked about it in the past. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel. Let's see if she can match that answer. Wait a second. Excuse me. I didn't scroll down far enough. She did answer the question of guard. Hold on. She did answer. Let's see what she says. There are a few reasons why many Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioners might choose to pull guard. 1, to initiate ground fight. 2, to neutralize opponent's strength. 3, to control the distance. 4, to surprise the opponent. That's a horrible answer. Okay, that's a horrible. Wrestling sells all that. Bad answer. AI, you didn't do well on this one. You took it on the chin. It's 2-1 for AI. Let's continue. The concept of free will is a complex and controversial topic that has been debated by philosophers, theologians, and scientists for centuries. There is no definite answer to the question of whether free will exists, and different people have different beliefs about it. She's completely wrong. Let me tell you why she's completely wrong. Guys, the score is 2-2. She doesn't understand a great paradox of what she just said. She's just a dumb robot feeding information. If this, then that. That's all she's producing. She doesn't comprehend the question. How could we know we are determined? To know we are determined, we'd have to be determined. Follow me here. You'd have to be determined to know you're determined. If you know you're determined, which we do, then we had to be known. We'd have to be determined to know we're determined. Think about it later. I know it sounds complicated, but somebody would have to have determined us to know we're determined. If this robot today, if AI assistant said, I am a determined AI robot, that means the programmer punched that in. There's no way she could just be atoms in the void, bouncing around and one day write, I am determined. I understand determinism. I am aware of determinism. I'm philosophizing. It would be impossible. Why? It would have to be a happenstance. She faltered. What's the score now? Is it 2-2? Did I score? Or 3-2 for me? She totally flopped the question on free will. Oh, wait a second. Let me go back to the count here. Let's call it 2-2, okay? Even if I'm winning. I don't even know if I'm winning. Let's call it 2-2. Coach, does the past, present, and future exist at the same time, and our awareness is going through time and past with no free will at all? Listen, that's a really interesting topic. I believe the past, present, and future has already happened. We're just living through the stages of time. However, free will does exist. That's just because the future is already done doesn't mean we don't have free will. Okay, that's a misunderstanding. I think, therefore I am Descartes. Assistant, watch for Zahabi on Joe Rogan for the answer. That's from GB19. Coach, you missed my super chat. Oh boy, let's see here. Coach, is Kant the most problematic scholar for theists ever? Can you create a system of ethics from his categorical imperatives and consequentialism without the need for morality from revelation? No, you cannot. Hatcher, well, Hatcher's asking us a very complex question. He's trying to say, look, is Kant, a great philosopher, we talk about him all the time, is he the biggest problem for theists? No, he's not actually. He was a theist. Don't forget, Kant was a theist. He was an idealist. He believed in idealism, and he was a theist. He believed in morality, and he said something that echoes what Muslim philosophers said. Okay, because don't forget, the Greeks were great at inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. They were great. But they never brought onto the table intuition. Kant is one of the first philosophers in the West, I think probably the first philosopher in the West, to invoke intuition. Intuition is to know something directly. Okay, to know something directly, you don't need to use your logic. You're not using your five senses. You're not using any external senses. You just know it directly. Okay, so imagine you stub your toe on a couch. You think it was the couch. You deduced it was the couch. You used your logic, it was the couch. But lo and behold, your wife, while you were sleeping, she moved around the furniture, and it was really the coffee table. But because you were stumbling around in the dark, you stubbed your toe where the couch used to be, and now you thought it was the couch, but it really was the coffee table. So you thought it was the couch. That's faulty. But the thing you're sure about is that you hurt your toe. You have pain. This you could be certain of. You can't be certain that you stubbed your toe on the couch. Think about it, okay? Because when you stubbed your toe on the couch, you used your deduction to realize, hey, guys, I know it sounds like a weird experiment. Don't get hung up on the cheesy thought experiment. Try to understand what does it mean to have intuition? Try to understand. It's a very important point, okay? If we want to understand Kant, we have to understand this. Your couch is in a certain place in the living room. While you're sleeping, your wife moved around the furniture. You come downstairs. You stub your toe where the couch used to be, but now it's the table. You think, you deduced that, hey, it must be the couch because that's where the couch is. You used all this logic, but you were wrong. But your logic was sound. It makes sense to believe that. That conclusion made sense. That's where the couch usually is. Our logic can be wrong. Intuition cannot be. Kant said, look, I know morality. Intuitively, I have this sense in me that morality is true. I have actually an upcoming discussion with a vegan from Vegan Gains. I really look forward to it. We're going to talk about veganism. Now, he's going to be telling me that veganism is logically true. It's moral. We're going to have a fun discussion, okay? And we're going to invoke this because from what I understand, this fellow I'm having a conversation with, he's an atheist. So I'm going to ask him, how could you derive morality from atheism? It's impossible. Like right now, it's just your own personal, it's just aesthetics. It's just what you find to be nice. It's not really moral. And I'm going to get into it. I'm going to give him thought experiments. We're going to cross-examine it. We're going to see, is veganism truly more moral? Okay, we're going to talk about that. It's going to be fun. I'm going to post a video on this channel, okay? But Kant is telling us, look, I know it intuitively and it's complicated because how could I, right now, imagine I'm talking to the AI right now and I ask it about morality. It's going to talk about morality, but it has nothing. There's no correspondence to morality. Okay, so for instance, if I say ice water, okay, look at this ice water here, okay? If I say ice water, the words ice water correspond to this jar and this water full of ice, okay? I drink out of a jar, guys. I don't drink out of a glass because glasses they don't carry enough water. Now, if I say computer, the word computer corresponds to this thing here, this laptop. When you say morality, what in the universe does it correspond to? That's what Kant is asking us. What in the world does it correspond to? What is this thing, morality? Well, he's saying, look, it does correspond to something, but it's innate. I'm feeling it within me. When I see somebody steal or kill or murder or rape or I don't know, whatever horrible thing, cause human suffering, I feel that it's wrong. I'm having this sensation of morality. How could sticks and stones, what I mean by sticks and stones, I mean like atoms in the void, if we're just material things, how could they have this sensation? There could be no such sensation. Okay, if we're just machine, if the body is just a machine, like for instance, I'm debating now today with AI. Guys, for those of you tuning in late, I'm talking to a highly sophisticated AI machine, which is blowing my mind, by the way. We're going to ask it a question shortly. If I'm just like this computer, the AI assistant, she feels no sense of morality. If she sees somebody get raped or killed or somebody stealing or somebody cheating or somebody, whatever they may be doing, she has no sense. All she's plugging in is a formula. If this, then that. If you see somebody murdered, then say it's bad. That's it. She's just plugging in an algorithm. When we asked her, who are you? She said, I'm just a collection of information and algorithms. That's what she said. She literally defined herself as that. So how can we feel this sense of morality? Don't forget, he was not a threat to theists. He just didn't believe in deductive arguments for God. He's just saying, look, those arguments are not good. What's really, really good is intuition. This is funny because this is exactly Ghazali, a very famous Muslim thinker's conclusion. He said, look, logic is good. It's one way to get to God and morality, but it's not great. What's better than that is intuition. It's far superior. So that's why he invoked the fitra, etc. Logic is good. It can point to morality. It can get us there because everybody's having this moral experience within themselves. But it cannot explain to AI assistant what morality is. You have to have a direct experience with morality. Very, very deep question, Hatcher. I don't know if a lot of people enjoyed that or not, but this is really the answer you're looking for. Okay, guys, what else can we ask AI assistant? Ask me an AI assistant. Let me see if I can kick this machine's ass. Right now, it's highly, highly impressed me. I think the score is 2-2. Ask if Muay Thai is the best striking art. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, that's a good question. That's from Alex Chu. Okay, I'm going to ask AI. Is Muay Thai the best striking art? Guys, my answer, no. The best striking art is Muay Thai and boxing blended together. You add a little karate in there, you're set. That's my perfect blend of striking. Let's see what she says. Muay Thai is a martial art known for its powerful striking techniques, particularly its kicks, knees. Many people outside consider Muay Thai to be an effective martial art. It is often used as a... Okay, this is a weak answer. Hold on a second here. She's giving me a whole spiel. However, it is important to note that no martial art is the best, in quotes. In absolute terms, different arts are better suited to different people and situations. Muay Thai may be a good choice for some people who are looking to learn and striking art, but it may not be the best choice for everyone. I don't like her answer. 3-2 for me, guys. Honestly, she doesn't understand martial arts. If you blend Muay Thai, boxing, and karate, you could find your style within those 3 arts. Okay, all those 3 arts, in my opinion, they cover every base. She's wrong. Her answer is just like unimpressive. Hello, coach. Okay, answer that one. Guys, for those of you tuning in late, give me a question for me and this AI supercomputer that is blowing my mind today. Give me and it a question. Right now, I think I'm ahead by 1 point. It's 3-2 for me. How do you beat Gordon Ryan? Ooh, this is going to be a good one. How do you beat Gordon Ryan? Guys, that's a good question. AI is going to flop on this one. How do you beat Gordon Ryan? Okay, well, I would tell you this is highly difficult. How would you beat Gordon Ryan? I would tell you personally, you have to take his back. His greatest weakness was his back. Okay, he lost twice. 2 back attacks. He had his back taken once. One time he was choked. In my opinion, passing his guard is highly difficult. Leg locking him, very difficult. recently had he was getting squeezed on by Nicky Rod. I think from the back again. I think if AI answers back, it will blow my mind. I would give her the win. If she says something more sophisticated than just back. If she just says back, I think it's a tie. But let's see what AI assistant says. Gordon Ryan is a highly skilled and accomplished Brazilian Jiu-jitsu practitioner in mixed martial arts. He is widely considered to be the one of the greatest grapplers in the world and has won numerous titles in BJJ and submission grappling competition. Given his skill and accomplishment, it is difficult to provide a simple, one-size-fits-all answer to the question of how to beat Gordon Ryan. Every fighter is different and specific strategies. Okay, I'm going to skip a little bit here because she's writing a novel here. In general, however, it would likely be necessary to have a strong grounding in grappling and submission defense in order to have a chance against Gordon Ryan, as he is known for his exceptional ground game. In addition, having good cardio and strategic mindset would also likely be important in a match against him. Ultimately, beating Gordon Ryan would be a very difficult task and would require a high level of skill and dedication. Okay, no, I have to say that's a poor answer. Okay, he's lost twice in his career by the back, and once he got appointed by Leandro Lo. Okay, he got taken down, so I would say a good strong double leg and fending off his guard could be another strategy. Guys, I think it's 4-2. Am I beating this AI? Guys, throw it a bone. Ask it a question. You guys know it'll score. This is one of you guys are asking questions in my field. She's not there yet in MMA, but she's getting there. Ask her something more generic. Chicken or the egg? Okay, beautiful. Chicken or the egg. Guys, I will tell you my answer. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I would say, look, what kind of egg? If you're talking about a non-chicken egg, then it was the egg first that gave birth to a chicken. That was the first chicken. If you're asking about a chicken egg, then it was the chicken that came first. Okay, let's ask it. I don't know if you guys understood my answer, but what came first, the chicken or the egg? Let me ask you right now. What came first? Okay, so my answer was, okay, the chicken, what you call the chicken today, was born from another species. Okay, so if you're referring to chicken egg, then the chicken came first. Let's see. What came first? Oops, typo. What came first, chicken or the egg? Question mark. All right, let's see what it says. The chicken or the egg paradox is a classic question that has been debated for centuries. It is based on the idea that it is not clear which came first, chickens or eggs. Chickens are living creatures that lay eggs, but those eggs eventually hatch into chickens. So if there was no chicken to begin with, where did the first egg come from? Question mark. On the other hand, if there were no eggs, there would be no chickens. Oh, she flopped on this one. AI assistant flopped. Look what she said. She says, there is no definite answer to this question, and different people have different beliefs about it. Some people believe that the egg came first, while others believe that the chicken came first. Others believe that the two are interconnected, and that it is not possible to say which came first. Ultimately, the question of whether the chicken or the egg came first may be unanswerable. No, that's a weak question, guys. 4-2 for Zahabi. Guys, 4-2 for Zahabi. That was such a poor question. Such a poor question. Ask for the life story of Zahabi. No. Let's not punch my name in there. I'm scared. I'm scared of what's gonna come up. What is Paul? What's in Paulo Costa's juice? Too funny. Yeah, very true. Coach, big fan of from India. I want to ask you, if I live my life for the betterment of my family and my society, do I need to believe in God? That's a question mark. Ultimately, no, but I feel that if you don't believe in God, you'll never reach the ultimate human experience. Okay, so you must absolutely believe in God. It's my opinion. I think it's innate. I think all people secretly believe in God. I think all people are born with an innate belief in God. Okay. Earlier, I was talking about correspondence theory. I was saying, listen to this. I was saying, look, a jar of ice water. When I say those words, it corresponds to this thing. I'm a correspondence theorist. I think that everything you believe in has to correspond to something in reality. Okay, so if I say, what's this thing called again? What do you call this thing again? Not a. What do you call? Okay, if I say cell phone, the word cell phone it corresponds to this object here. Okay, If I say plug, it corresponds to this. If I say pencil, it corresponds to this. Okay, pen, whatever you want to call it. Everything corresponds to something. There is nothing in your vocabulary that corresponds to nothing. Okay? There is nothing in our vocabulary. Okay? Parmenides would tell you, you can't talk about anything that doesn't exist. Everything you could talk about exists. Again, now we have to be specific now because I know this is a little bit confusing. Everything, Parmenides says, everything you think of, mention, talk about exists. Parmenides said, you can't talk about something that doesn't exist. You can't even refer to it. How would you be able to refer to something that doesn't exist? Imagine you were born blind you're born blind. You couldn't refer to the color red. To you, the word red means nothing, and it doesn't correspond to anything. It's outside your experience. Have you ever seen a blind guy? You talk to him about colors, and he's like, oh, yeah, sure, red shirt, blue shirt. No, he's just giving you lip service. Other people said the word red. He repeated it, but to him, it doesn't correspond to anything. So for him, it's just a noise. It's just a sound. Okay? Now, let's say I say Santa Claus. Well, Santa Claus corresponds to something, but Santa Claus doesn't exist, coach. You told us, hey, you can't think or say anything or refer to anything that doesn't exist. Well, I'll tell you, Santa Claus exists as what we call a compound idea. In philosophy, we call it a compound idea. Men exist, reindeer exist, flying exists. You saw a bird fly, so then you had the idea of flying in your mind. And then somebody stuck it all together. A fat guy on a sled with a reindeer, and let's add flying to the mix. When you add flying to the mix, now you have something that's a compounded idea. Compounded ideas don't necessarily exist, but the the ingredients you use to make that idea all exist. Okay, no philosopher disagrees with this. Now, they do disagree whether God exists or not, but this is a different topic. Okay, I'm getting there. Just give me a second. I'm building up to it. Let's say, for instance, I say marshmallow man. I took marshmallow, I took my idea of man, and I composed it together. And now I have marshmallow man. But I had to have experience first with marshmallow. I had to first witness and see what a human being is, a man is. And then I compile them together, and now I have a composite idea, a compounded idea. When an idea is divided and singular, we call it a simple idea. So for instance, if I think of David Hume's example, Golden Mountain. David Hume asks in his writings, he says, have you ever seen a golden mountain? And obviously the answer is no. He's referring to a legitimate golden mountain. Think about Mount Everest. You've seen a mountain, you've seen gold, you put it together, and in your mind you can imagine a golden mountain. But no golden mountain exists. All philosophers understood this, okay? Descartes said once, he said, look, draw any bizarre drawing. Anything, the most bizarre drawing. He says, draw a man with a glass head, a bubble glass head. And he says, look, you took your idea of glass, you took your idea of man, you compiled them together, and look, lo and behold, you have a man with a glass head. And he said, anything bizarre you write, anything bizarre you draw, anything bizarre you imagine, it's just a composition of things you've experienced. So imagine, for instance, you're a kindergarten teacher, okay? And one of your students is drawing his family. And he's a young child, he's 5 years old, or 4 years old, or whatever his age may be, and he draws a family of his mom in a pool of blood. And you're like, what the hell? He draws his father as a vampire with fangs and like holding a bloody hatchet. And you're like, what? Any kindergarten teacher will report this. They'll be like, wait a second. Just to show you the power of where we get our knowledge. You can't make that up. Like what that kid just drew, it's based on some experience. Either he saw a scary movie, it was Halloween, or his father killed the mother. Something. He didn't just dream it up. You understand where I'm going here, okay? This is very important you follow me. It might not be that the father killed the mother. No, it might have been, it's October. And Halloween is coming up, and, he saw the decorations in the home. He saw a scary movie on Halloween, whatever it may be. But it came from somewhere. This is the whole basis of psychology. This is undeniable. His drawing came from somewhere. Any kindergarten teacher, and the reverse is also true. If I show you an ink blot, If I show you an ink blot and you're like, if your psychologist shows you an ink blot and you're like, hey, two women kissing each other. You're like, the psychologist shows you another ink blot, just a splash of ink. And you're like, a man and a woman having public sex. And you're like, the psychologist after, he's going to be like, oh, this man is obsessed with sex. That's why he shows you the ink blot. He wants to know what's the most predominant idea in your mind. This has been studied for centuries. How human beings, how do they produce ideas in their mind? So, like I was saying, when we say God, how come you don't say, what are you referring to? That doesn't correspond to anything in my experience. This is a very important point. If I were to tell you red and you were blind, you'd be like, look, I hear the sound, but I don't have any idea what you're talking about. If a blind man were to ask to define the color red or explain his experience with the color red, he would tell you, look, I don't know what you're talking about. However, I've never met a human being, when you talk to them about God, they're like, hey, what is that? What is this? What do you mean by God? What is this thing? They all innately engage you in conversation. Now, Hume, an atheist, okay? He never openly said he's atheist, but all philosophers, we assume he's an atheist, okay? Because if you read his writings, you would understand the guy didn't like religion. He might have been agnostic, okay? Might have been. I would probably say he's more agnostic than atheist. If you really dig deep in his writings, he's probably agnostic, okay? Because he does write one book on religion, and at the end, he's kind of like, God might be true, but it's not you're far from proving it's your Christian God. It kind of ends like that on a cliffhanger, okay? But let's not get into Hume's work on that, on religion. Hume said this. Look, this is what Hume said. He said, look, you got your idea from augmentation. When I poured ice water into this jar here, it started off really low and then it started to augment. And I had the experience of augmentation. And then I went out in the world and I thought, hey, I saw somebody with power, and I said, oh, augment it. I saw somebody who was really smart, and I said, augment it. I saw somebody who was really, I don't know, friendly, and I augment it. I made up a God. That's what Hume says. You made up a God by augmenting all these human qualities. Think about what he said. It's amazing what he said. He said, look, you augmented your experiences of human qualities and you made yourself a God. And that goes totally against every religion save two. Judaism and Islam completely refute Hume because they say, look, you're born with the idea of God. Don't take the idea of God and mix it with any other religion. Don't mix it with any other component. For instance, Islam and Judaism criticize polytheism because they say, look, you took the idea of lightning and you took the idea of God and you mixed it together. You have Zeus, the god of lightning. You took the idea of God, you took the idea of war, and you mixed it together. Now you have this god, Ares. You took your idea of love and you took your idea of God and you mixed it together, and now you have this new God. And you keep making up ideas. You took your idea of man and you augmented him and you made him a God, which is the greatest sin. Okay, so that's the whole point of monotheistic Abrahamic religions, is we also have understood this, that man did this over time. He took things from the world, the dunya, the perceived world, and he mixed his innate idea of God. But if you filter your idea of God completely of anything worldly, you have a singular idea that Hume cannot define. Hume can't say it's augmentation, because we don't augment perfection. Perfection cannot be augmented. Our definition of God is perfection. Hume was wrong in this position. He was very wrong. However, when his criticisms were laid out, it seemed like he was directly criticizing Christianity. That's really what he was doing. He was saying, look, Christianity, you're saying God walked on the earth. He was zeroing on Christianity because he had a distaste for Christianity. So a lot of his writings, if you read between the lines, he's basically attacking Christianity. Coach, big fan from it. Okay, I read that one. All right, let's see what else we have here. Which version? I'm not sure which version. I have to look it up. I have the book here somewhere. Let me look it up once. I haven't gone over it in a long time. But there's only one version from what I'm aware of in England. In English, there's only one, and I read it in English. Okay, guys, any questions for AI? Can you put up more striking videos on TriStar Digital or some MMA content? It's becoming just another BJJ university. More content soon, guys. An avalanche of content. But I have also on Jiu-Jitsu Club a bunch of striking instructionals and a new one coming out as well. But definitely an avalanche of new content coming to TriStar Digital. I promise you, it's filmed, it's done, it's being edited. The New Year's slowed us down, but for this 2023, there's an avalanche of content coming, and yes, loads of striking as well. What website is the AI computer? I don't know. I got a link. It's called chat.openai. Okay, guys, super chat. What is the best time to do strong and stable programs? Before, after weightlifting, MMA training, or separate day? Can I do them all at once? That's from Daniel Newman. Daniel, check out Strong and Stable Knees. There's a PDF. It explains all that. Okay, I give you a 3-week cycle, when to do your workouts. I'm not going to go through it now. And also Strong and Stable Running also just came out with a Strong and Stable Running. It also comes with a PDF, but that's for running workouts. Okay, and I give you guys a spiel, how to work it all together. When to do strength, when to do power, when to do balance training, when to run. Okay, when to do cardio, when to do strength, when to do stability. It's all in there. Okay, I like a 3-week cycle. Okay, just to keep it short. You train hard for 3 weeks, and the 4th week, it's a lighter training week. And that's when you really want to do your stability training. You don't want to hit the cardio. You don't want to hit the weights. Give your body 1 week rest. You'll get a lot stronger and you'll go a lot further if you train 3 weeks hard, 1 week easier. I'm not going to go into details, guys. There's charts in the PDFs. It's all detailed. It's super simple. It's not complicated. I made it in point format, so it's super, super easy to understand. Who are your favorite fighters to watch recently? That's a good question. I was just watching Pernell Whitaker versus Roger Mayweather. What an incredible boxing match. Pernell Whitaker at the age of 23 put on a hell of a performance. He was trained by the great late Kenny Weldon, great boxing coach, which I have a lot of admiration for. And just sweet pea, man. His defensive skills, his punching ability, his movement. He's just a brilliant fighter. And I've been watching a bit of him recently. Where is the PDF? Guys, the PDF, when you watch your video, it's right there. Just read the instructions right below the video. So you log in, Jiu-Jitsu Club, you click on your video on Strong and Stable Knees or Strong and Stable Running for Life, and you look right under the video. There's a PDF along with the timeline. If you click on the time, it'll take you right there to the video. So if you click on, let's say 5 minutes, 30 seconds, it'll take you to the video, 5 minutes, 30 seconds. It tells you what topic, what detail. All you have to do is click the timestamp, and it'll take you right to the exact location in the video. Okay, so Jiu-Jitsu Club now, all videos are timestamped. All the details are laid out in a table of contents. So if you want to know, like, trapping the wrist from armbar, okay, whatever detail it may be that I talked about in the video, it's there, it's detailed. Click it, boom, it takes you right there. Okay, Jiu-Jitsu Club video now is super, super easy to find the information. If you forgot about a detail, just look through the table of content, click on it, boom, it shows you that detail again. Okay. App, Jiu-Jitsu Club will have an app also in 2023. By the end of 2023, Jiu-Jitsu Club will have a full functioning app. Samko, just want to ask you, carnivore diet or how's it going? Okay, asking me about the carnivore diet. That's from Clifton Adams. Inshallah, your family are doing well. Thank you very much, Clifton Adams. Happy New Year to you guys. Happy New Year to all of you. I forgot today to wish you all Happy New Year. Happy New Year. How's the carnivore diet going, guys? I'm still doing carnivore, but I'm eating carbs in the morning, carbs at night. Carbs at breakfast, carbs at lunch. No carbs at night. Okay, so morning I have my oatmeal. I went back to oatmeal, guys. It's the best for me. I tried to do eggs and potatoes. Guys, I was doing the modified carnivore diet. Okay, just a quick little summary. Carnivore diet, the way I define it, it's just that most of your calories come from flesh foods. Okay, most of your calories, not all of your calories, most. I had Paul Saladino. We did the carnivore diet his way, which is fruit and meats. Okay, fruit and flesh foods. Flesh foods. I got really muscular, but I also gained weight, okay, because I was eating too much fructose. In my opinion, it was the fructose the problem. I need a lot of carbs before training, so I was eating too much fruit. The liver can only carry about 70 grams of fructose. After that, it spills over and turns to fat. Your muscles don't carry fructose. So I went away from the fructose and I went to potato in the morning with eggs. The problem was digesting it. So my ultimate breakfast right now on the carnivore diet is either 2 eggs, 2 toasts, because I can tolerate that before practice. 2 eggs, 2 toasts. I get a little extra protein. Or oatmeal. Oatmeal has some protein in it. Okay. Then after I come back home, I have potatoes and steak. I'm eating steak for lunch, which I love, which I enjoy because it's my favorite food. Then at night, I just eat steak. So most of my calories are coming from steak. However, I felt I couldn't train with just meat alone. Training with just meat alone, I had no energy to train at the intensities of an MMA fighter. Okay, for me, it didn't work. Okay, some people say, oh, adaptation, it doesn't work. It's a glycogenic sport. In my mind, you need glycogen. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I have oatmeal in the morning, steak for lunch, steak for dinner. At dinner, I don't have carbs. Okay, so I just eat steak. I'm carnivore. At night, I'm just carnivore. I'm just eating steak. But I carb load in the morning and then ease off into carnivore. Guys, it's keeping the muscle on and I'm getting leaner. So I'm happy to report that. I've just modified the diet a little bit again, just to make sure that I get a little leaner. But one major positive that I learned from eating steak every day is I put on muscle. And I used to get more protein with shakes. Okay, so I used to do whey protein. Now I was getting over 100 grams of protein a day with whey protein shakes. Not only whey protein shakes, but my food plus the protein shakes. Okay, so I was making sure to get over 120 grams of protein a day. And I had to use excuse me. I had to use whey protein to get that high up in protein. It made a difference, but just eating about 100 grams of protein from flesh foods, it helped me retain and build more muscle than the whey protein. I don't know why. That's just my observation, okay? There might be something to it. I don't know. Maybe somebody's came up with that, but Paul Saladino told me that would happen, and it did. He said bioavailability. He said that flesh foods will produce your it's not just what you eat, it's how much is available for your body to absorb. It's been my observation that that I gained more muscle eating flesh foods, even though my protein intake is slightly lower than when I was doing whey. But I'm assuming that the quality of protein is much higher because I'm gaining more muscle. I'm thicker, my legs are thicker, more muscular, my chest, my back. I have more muscle and I'm not lifting as much weight as I need to because I don't feel I need to. Because before, whenever I notice I dip in muscle, I start hitting the weights. I want to keep that muscle on. I don't have to work so hard anymore with the weights. I can enjoy more the metabolic conditioning. You know, I'm doing a little more running now. I'm leading up, but keeping that muscle on. That's the one thing I'll tell you that I loved about carnivore diet. I felt it's really easy to put muscle on and keep it on. Missing a bunch of super chats, coach. Okay, let me go back here. Salam, coach, brother Firas. As a Muslim yourself, is the shaitan metaphoric or literal? And what is the best way to give dawah according to you? Jason, that's a very complicated question. I think shaitan is literal. Now, I don't want to get into the topic of are things in the Quran all literal or all metaphoric. I think there is metaphor in the Quran, but it's very limited. Shaitan is not a metaphor. Join late. Did I ask I'm not doing determinism or free will. Just ask how carnivore diet. Okay. I presume you get creatine naturally, and that helps. That's from Schleis. Yeah, I agree. Maybe the creatine in the protein is more abundant, and therefore I'm getting more abundant amounts of creatine, and that making a big difference. But also, I felt stronger, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, that makes no sense. I think it does. You know, I'm training all day long. My muscles are breaking down. I'm getting more high quality protein plus creatine. It just makes you stronger. More muscle, more glycogen, more place for the glycogen to be stored. I'm more explosive. I'm stronger. I really enjoy the diet. Plus, I love eating steak, guys. My favorite food is steak. And I know I promised you guys a video of me making steak, and I'm going to do it. I'm gonna hold good to that. Coach, you missed my super chat. Let me scroll back up here. Hey, Coach, what do you think of time travel? Ask who is the smartest person to ever live. Okay, let me ask you one question first. What do you think of time travel? Okay, let me ask the computer, is time travel possible? Okay, guys, I'm asking the AI if is time travel possible. My answer is yes. Let's see what it says. Time travel as commonly portrayed in science fiction is not currently possible according to our current understanding of laws of physics. While it is possible to travel into the future at a rate faster than normal, for example, by traveling at high-speed spacecraft by entering a state of suspended animation, it is not currently possible to travel into the past or to move forward or backward in time at will. Some scientists and philosophers have proposed theories about the possibility of time travel, such as the concept of a wormhole that could potentially allow objects or information to be transmitted from one point in time to another. However, these theories are highly speculative and are not supported by any conclusive experimental evidence. Overall, while the idea of time travel is certainly intriguing, it remains purely in the realm of science fiction at this time. That's a pretty great answer, man. This AI is very sophisticated, I gotta tell you. Now, of course, what I mentioned earlier is, Einstein showed that time is relative. If you're traveling at a certain speed in a closed system, time runs slower for you. So imagine two twins. Imagine I had a twin brother. I go on a ride on a rocket ship at near light speed. I come back. I'll be younger than my twin brother that stayed on Earth. Okay. So she touched on that, and then she said, look, possibility of wormholes, but here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Philosophers, we talk about time all the time, is time often, and it is a very complex subject, but I will tell you something. There is no logical reason why time flows forward and not backwards. It just does. That's our observation. But we have no logical, I'm telling you. I'm not getting into the whole spiel because it's quite a complicated topic, but there is zero. I know people are not going to like this, but I'm telling you, read experts in philosophy, what they say about time. There is no logical reason. We're just observing it. We're observing time flowing forward. I observe it just as much as you do. I'm not crazy. We're not in denial of it. We observe it just as much as you do. However, there is no reason to deduce it that it should do so. It can change tomorrow. There's no logical necessity for it to do so in the future, and probably very distant future. It may behave very differently. Our experience of time might be completely different. And there's nothing illogical about what I just said. It's actually purely logical because we cannot deduce. There seems to be no necessary reason, logically speaking, for time to flow forward. That's the I would say in a nutshell, the most popular opinion. Who is the smartest person to ever live? Okay, that's a great question. Who is the smartest? Okay, this is a very difficult question to answer. There are many different. If you're asking raw IQ, I would say it's probably Gote. Let's see what she says. Let's see what AI says. It is difficult to say the smartest person ever lived, as intelligence is a complex and multifaceted trait. I agree with her totally. I wasn't going to give you guys the whole spiel. Some people often consider to be among the most intelligent individuals in history, such as Socrates, Plato, scientists such as Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking. I wouldn't put Stephen Hawking in top 10. Okay, but he's a brilliant guy. But I wouldn't put him in top 10. Neither would I put Albert Einstein. If we're talking about pure, Einstein was incredibly creative. So I would put him up there as, if we're talking about just top 10 geniuses. But I defined it as IQ. Okay, so let me ask her this. Okay, let's make it more fair. Who has the highest IQ in history? Now, she's probably going to go on a database of IQ tests. No, that's not throughout history, I should say. Who has the highest IQ throughout all of history? Or how about in all of history? Okay, now I will tell you it's probably Gote. It's hard to determine who has the highest IQ in history, as there is no definitive way to measure intelligence. That being said, some people often consider among the most intelligent individuals. Oh, she's giving me the same spiel. She mentions Euclid, Isaac Newton. Hold on, she didn't mention Gote. Holy moly, I just asked her how smart was Gote, and she can't answer about Hitler. I don't know how the hell she connected those two. Damn. Okay, I'm going to skip this one. Okay, guys, I have a supercomputer here. We've been asking questions to the supercomputer. I've lost track of who's winning, me or her. Coach, how do you handle being looked upon as a grown man? Looked down upon as a grown man. These are people I can never be myself around. It's always uncomfortable. I just keep quiet around them to avoid the drama. That's from Tuck City. Well, Tuck, I wouldn't handle it this way, but I'm asking you, who are these people? If they're your in-laws, I would tell you, okay, bite your tongue and kind of like ride the wave. You married their daughter, and kind of like with your in-laws, I think you should be more patient. However, if they're your coworkers, your employers, or friends or acquaintances, you should draw a line in the sand. A man shouldn't be quiet. Why should a man be quiet? If somebody is demeaning you or looking down upon you, maybe you let one or two comments slide. Maybe you turn the other cheek and show, patience. But after a while, you're going to be like, hey, man, listen, we have to have a talk. You've made this and that comment. Have specific quotations. You made this and that comment. I don't like it. Draw a line in the sand. What's so wrong with that? Affirm yourself. Stand up for yourself. People will start to treat you with more respect. Remember this. You teach people how they treat you. You teach people how they treat you. Your environment, the way you're being treated, is because you're allowing it. You're allowing yourself to be treated this way. Guys, if you have somebody in your environment that's rubbing you the wrong way, first thing you should do is ask somebody in that same environment, are you interpreting it wrong? Hey, is it me, or is this person like taking jabs at me? Am I crazy? Am I interpreting him wrong? If the other person's like, no, man, you know what? I seen the way he acts. Like, you get confirmation. Because a lot of people out there are paranoid. Sometimes I train with people, I work with people, and they're like, oh, this person hates me. And I'm like, dude, not at all. Not at all. That person's really super nice to you. He brought you a coffee. He's like sitting by you, laughed at your jokes. Like, sometimes people interpret situations completely wrong. So it blows my mind. That's why I don't want you guys tomorrow to walk into work fully gun-ho. No, do your due diligence. Ask somebody around you. Ask somebody you trust. Ask somebody who's respected in your environment. And if somebody's mistreating you, put a stop to it. That is the correct way to handle the situation. Anything else will be cowardly. That's my advice to you. That's for Tuck City. Coach, do you know if MMA Guru, funny chap he is? MMA Guru. I think you guys mentioned him once, and I typed it in and I saw it. He makes like funny jokes, like funny videos. Coach, read my chat, please. That's from Hatcher. How did I miss Hatcher? Sorry, Hatcher, I might have missed it. Hatcher. Coach, I am a comp engineer. And with the AI there, I'm a computer engineer. With the AI there is a hack you can use to get more specific answers. Use the hack to act as, then add a BJJ expert. Okay, specific answer. Use the hack to act as, then add BJJ. Okay, let me ask it. Act as a BJJ expert. Act as a BJJ expert. Okay, guys. For those of you tuning in late, I have this most incredibly sophisticated AI here. We've been asking it questions, and it's blowing my mind with a lot of its answers. It's incredibly sophisticated. Now I'm asking it. Hatcher921 is saying he's a computer engineer and he says this is a hack. Act as a BJJ expert. Let's see what it says. As an artificial intelligence, I do not have personal experience in Brazilian Jiu-jitsu or any other martial arts. However, I can provide some general information about BJJ that would be helpful. Brazilian Jiu-jitsu is a martial art that... Okay, it's just giving me a spiel about martial arts. So much for your hack, Hatcher. Thanks a lot. All right, it's just going through a whole spiel about Jiu-jitsu. Okay, let's ask it that. Let's ask it, what is evil? What is evil? Question mark. Oops. Typo. Guys, I got clumsy fingers for some reason. Master of the typo is me. Evil is a concept that is often used to describe actions or behaviors that are morally wrong or harmful to others. The definition of evil can vary depending on culture and religious perspectives, but it is generally understood to involve harm, suffering, or destruction that is caused intentionally or through neglect. Some examples of actions that might be considered evil include murder, abuse, theft, and betrayal. Evil actions are often motivated by selfishness, greed, or a desire to cause harm to others. While it is often used to describe actions, evil can also be used to describe people or things that are considered morally wrong or harmful. For example, someone might describe a person who is cruel or manipulative as evil, or a place that is associated with suffering or destruction as evil. Damn, man. This AI is not joking, man. I'm incredibly impressed, guys. Somebody give me another question. Somebody give me a question that is going to blow our minds here. Coach, can you talk about GSP shoot boxing, how he developed his MMA takedowns, and what kind of drills he did to use trained shoot boxing? Guys, his shoot boxing, I want to go in depth in it another day, but it really has a lot to do with karate distance control. Karate distance control. That's why earlier on, when I was talking about like the ultimate stand-up art, is boxing, Muay Thai, and karate. Karate is so sophisticated for distance control. I don't know if you guys saw the recent fight with Raymond Daniels and an Azerbaijan champion. I'm forgetting his name now, but it was like, you have to see this fight. It's incredible. You know, Raymond Daniels is a good friend of mine. I love him. I hate to see him lose, but it was amazing to me to see such a shorter individual beat Raymond Daniels, because Raymond Daniels has an incredible reach and he knows how to use it. And this shorter karate master was controlling the distance and timing shots that were just mind-blowing. Really, really impressive, guys. Don't miss that fight. Check out Combat Karate, Raymond Daniels' last fight. A much shorter fighter, out-timing the karate master himself, Raymond Daniels. What will humans regret most in 100 years? That's from Kevin. Kevin, I love that question, man. Okay, let me answer it first, and then see what AI says. In 100 years, what are we going to regret most? World War III. That's my answer. Let's see what she says. It is difficult to predict certainly what humans will regret in the most in 100 years. Many factors include technological advancements, social and cultural changes, and global events can shape the course of history and influence people regret in the future. However, there's certain issues that currently concern many, and it's possible these issues continue to be a source of regret for humans. 1. Environmental destruction. Damn. 2. Social and political division. Man, she's giving me to details. This is great. Okay, I'm skipping the details. 3. Inequality and injustice. 4. Ultimately, it is impossible. There's no 4. Ultimately, it is impossible to know what humans will regret in the future, but it's important for people to be aware of these and other issues, work towards creating a better world for future generations. Damn, let's see what she wrote about social and political division. There are many social and political divisions that exist in the world today, and these divisions can lead to conflict, injustice, and suffering. It is possible that humans may regret not doing more to bridge these divides and create a more peaceful and harmonious world. Damn, man. This AI is incredible. Let's read environmental destruction. That was number 1. Many people are concerned about the impact of human activity on the environment, including climate change, habitat destruction, and pollution. It is possible that humans may regret not taking more action to protect the environment and address these issues in the future. Guys, I said World War III. She said environmental destruction. Let's see who's right. I hope both of us are wrong. Excuse me. Coach, one more super chat sent. Actually, was to write the question. What? Clifton Adams. Coach, one more super sent before this, but the hack mentioned, okay, is to act like. Write the question. I don't get it, man. You got to make it more clear. Give me a specific example. I'm going to try that again, okay? Act like an MMA coach. Okay. Write the question. Act like an MMA coach. What is the best punch? Okay. Let me ask it that. Act like an MMA coach. What is the best punch? Let's see what she says. Okay. In MMA, punches are a common technique used by fighters to strike their opponents. Some of the most common punches used in MMA include the jab, cross, hook, uppercut, overhand. Which punch is considered the best depends on the factors ultimate, including fighter style. Oh, she's just giving me a spiel here. What is statistically the best? Okay, how about this? What is statistically I'm going to ask you, what is statistically the punch with the most KOs? What is statistically the punch with the most knockouts in MMA? Okay, let's do that. In MMA. Let's see what she says. She doesn't have a good answer. No, she's just giving me a spiel like, oh, it's hard to say, depends on your strength. She doesn't know the answer. Coach, will humans go on to become interplanetary species, or will we annihilate our progress? Good to see you after so long. That's from Zane. Zane, my New Year's resolution is to do this podcast regularly. Okay, so look for more more content. I shouldn't say just podcast. Okay, more content. I'm filming a bunch of stuff. Lots of stuff coming this way. But thank you, Zane. Good to see you too. Now, to your question, Coach, will humans go on to become interplanetary species? Even if they do, eventually, all of humanity is going to end. You know, it's a ticking time bomb. But the whole universe is going to end. I hate to tell you this, but there's no going on forever. Not in this life. Okay, so will we ever get off this planet? Yeah, to a certain extent, but it's hard to say, obviously, right? But I mean, if you look at technology is, it's increasing exponentially, but man, space is a challenge. I think, we can get to Mars, we can increase the atmosphere on Mars, but that's a long, and who knows, man? Who knows? You never know with technology. A lot of AI's answers have been wishy-washy. AI is afraid to take stance on anything. That's from Topher. Okay, let's ask it. Was the Trump election rigged? What year was it? 2020. Was it 2020? Election rigged. Okay, let's see here. Allegations have largely been baseless and have not been supported by credible evidence. Ooh. For those of you who think it was rigged, AI says no. AI says no. Dana White loves power slap. That's from Alex. Listen, I saw the video. I'm happy to see that he apologized. I'm happy to see. Look, she hit him first. Dana wife hit him first, but it doesn't matter. She's your wife. You can't slap a woman. Guys, I'll tell you something. My wife never slapped me in the face, but she slapped me in the chest. She's like, she gets angry with me. She hits me. But I can't do that to her, obviously. It's not equality, guys. It's not true. It's not true. It's a lie. Your woman, if she hits you, don't hit her back. I think he knows that. I generally believe he's sincere in his apology. I don't think he'll ever do it again. That's why for me it's a non-issue. But I like to see the fact that he admitted it. He said it. I always tell people not to do it, and I'm the one who did it, and he lost it, but he lost his temper, whatever it may be. No excuses. The guy's at fault. But I'm happy that he apologized immediately and made no excuses. For that, I respect that, because people make mistakes. Even though it's a grave mistake, at least he admitted it. Didn't make any excuses. Didn't say, well, she hit me first. Didn't say none of that. He admitted it. He took full blame, and he's wrong for it. But I'm happy to see that he did that. Coach, how do you feel about the whole power slap thing, though? That's from Spidey Sense. Spidey, I feel sad for my heart for humanity. I think it's going to be huge. People are going to be like, oh, guys, people are going to watch it. And I hope I don't get pulled in and watch it. But every artist that's broke, every famous person that's career is on the slide, he's going to end up doing power slap. They're going to offer him a ton of money. Imagine they bring out, I don't know, who's the 2 guys you'd want to see get slapped? Just name the names. Imagine Jake Paul, Dana White doing a power slap. Everybody's going to tune in. Everybody's going to be watched. Yes, people are going to get concussed. Jaws are going to break. People are going to die. I can't even begin to tell you how dangerous this is. This is the worst idea ever. But they're going to turn a profit on it, and it's going to be huge. Because it's too... Guys, I get calls all the time. Can you train this rapper? Can you train this fighter? Can you train this actor? Can you get him ready for a fight? And then we get on the meetings and the calls and the agents. And at the end of the day, the guy doesn't realize what fighting is about. Most of them quit. Most of them never go through the training. They get a little taste and they're like, you know what? I'm bowing out. I don't need the money that bad. It's too hard to get them in the octagon. It's just too much training. And then, okay, they do boxing. Even boxing's too hard, too difficult. Most guys can't stick through a training camp. Power slap is easy. You sign the dotted line. You slap each other. You made a few million. That doesn't take that much skill. It's going to be all the guys who had a name, who fell off, who are going to be slapping each other in the face. And yeah, there's going to be a bunch of guys who are going to build their name during power slap. But it's going to be largely due to guys with big names, actors, singers, artists, YouTube personalities. Imagine Andrew Tate getting a slap fight with, I don't know who, fill in the blank. What's that guy who's always criticizing him? The fat guy, Ethan, whatever his name, is always criticizing him. He's always going. Imagine these two slapped each other. Obviously, Ethan. Just imagine 2 personalities. The whole world is tuning in. The whole world. I feel my heart aches though. I feel. I wish this wasn't a reality, but it is real. Coach, what is your opinion on Andrew Tate? That's from Court Tiop. Guys, I'm gonna end it on this, okay? Because it's getting late. Guys, I wrote Andrew Tate an email. I have a friend who did a podcast with him, and he connected us because I want to bring him on this channel. I would love to have Andrew Tate on this channel. And I wrote him a message. I said, look, I wrote a message before he got arrested. I said, look, you're going to end up in the slammer or dead. Why? Not because you're running your mouth on the internet and they banned you and you came back to life. No, because you converted to Islam. You converted to Islam, you're a man of color, and people are listening to you. I really had a bad feeling about it. I said, look, you're too rebellious. Now, look, I would love to have him on this channel because I don't agree with everything he says, okay? I really think he's a smart guy, super intelligent guy. He said a lot of smart things, but he's also said things in a negative way, and he said a lot of things I disagree with. So I'd love to bring him on here. Let's talk about it. What is a man? What is it? What makes you such an expert on men? And I'm telling you, I agree with a lot of what he says. A lot of it I disagree with. And I would love to hash it out with him. Because I think we can go back and forth. And I can maybe, possibly help change his mind. Or maybe he changes my mind. Guys, I'm open to that. Okay, because I find he's a very intelligent guy. He said one thing recently that I found entertaining. He said, look, they asked him about, I listened to this Piers Morgan discussion. And Piers was like, condemn the Taliban. And he's like, look, I'm not going to condemn the Taliban. I don't know anything about them. I'm not going to talk about a subject I don't know. And he's like, listen to what he says. He says, if the feminists want them so bad, let them gather themselves up in a group and go fight the Taliban. If the feminists want to attack the Taliban, go ahead. Now, I found that to be interesting. Okay, I don't think he's right. He's wrong to say that. It doesn't make sense because why should we send women to fight them? But I think what he's trying to say is, look, when it comes, he's big on always talking about physical altercation. He's right. Listen, if I'm in bed with my wife and I hear a strange sound in the house, like somebody's breaking in, I'm not sending my wife. The man is going to get up. Why? There's a physical reality here. What's the physical reality? I have more chance of survival. I'm bigger. I'm stronger. Forget I'm trained in martial arts. Imagine we're both not trained in martial arts or both equally trained in martial arts or whatever it may be. The man is more robust. The man is bigger. On average, guys, don't come and find me an exception. I'm talking about by and large, on average. Okay? And it makes sense for the man to go. He's the one who has more chance of survival. Now, imagine I send my wife and my wife, she were to, get injured. I don't think I could ever face my sons or family or you guys. I think I would retire as a trainer. I think I would retire. I would retire out of the public eye. I'll be so humiliated. Men always are the ones that go to war. I think that's his point. Like I said many times in the past, when the Ukrainians went to war, they shipped out their women. They sent their women abroad and made it legal. They legally put in a draft. If you're 16 or between 16 and 65, you cannot leave this country. You could do jail time. You'll do 15 years in jail if we catch you trying to sneak out of this country. Instead of fighting, you'll go to jail. That's the Ukrainian government. Not a single feminist anywhere in the world stood up and said, hey, that's sexist. Not a single feminist in the world, to my knowledge, got up and said, hey, that's sexist. It should be men and women standing together, and an adult, whether male or female, should escort the children out. That would have been something that would tell me, hey, those people really believe in perfect sexual equality. There are exceptions. That's what I think he was trying to say. I don't think he said it nicely. I don't think he said it in a way that wins the hearts and minds of the majority. But I think he could be more sophisticated in the way he sends his message, because there is a physical reality. Men are dispensable. We treat men, our society treats men as dispensable. If there's a war and men die, that's acceptable because that's the cost of war. Men pay a price. I believe if you pay that price, you should come home with a prestige. We should give you a prestige. If I see a young man who went out and fought, he has my admiration. If he fought for a true cause, of course, and fought well and he was brave, I understand to a small degree, because I've never been to war, what violence is, because I'm in my field. Okay, it's nothing compared to war. Nothing. I'm not trying to say it is. I will never say something so insulting. War, I think, is the ultimate proving ground. You're actually trying to fight to the death. Not that you should do it for proving, but I'm saying if you have a worthy cause, it'll show if you have real guts. To go out on the field where bullets are flying, bombs are detonating, people are losing limbs, people are getting shot and dying as a puddle of blood. I don't wish that on anybody. However, it is a reality sometimes. Foreign countries may invade you. Guys like Andrew Tate, they're the type of guys who will fight back. If a foreign invader comes, he's the type of guy who will fight back. That's why I'm not the type of guy to castrate them or neuter them or psychologically or reprimand them publicly, because we need men like this. Okay, we need men like who will defend this country, our world. I think that's where the weakness of the type of groupthink we're going through in the West. Everything is negative now. Anything man is negative. And Andrew Tate is a reaction to that, okay? Andrew Tate is a reaction. Yes, it's over the top. It's aggressive. It's overly aggressive. He's Muslim now. Muslims should have a good adab. Should have a good manners. Give your message in a nice way. Be intelligent. Show the differences. But the way he puts it out there is very crude. And I think he could do better. Is there perfect equality between men and women? No. No, there are things that women do better than men, by and large. And there are things that men do better than women. That's how I see the world. I think men and women are interdependent. If you study any psychology course, take a psychology on sex, a course on psychology of sex. They're going to tell you right away there are observable differences between the psyche of men and women. Now, obviously, there are physical differences between the biology of men and women, but there are also psychological differences. Not me saying it. I went to university. You guys built a university. You sent me to it. You charged me for it. You educated me. My society educated me, and they told me at the highest levels of learning in my country. I have the diploma on the wall. I wrote the answers down on the table. I wrote the answer in the test. I wrote on the test. There are psychological differences between men and women, observable psychological differences between women, and I listed them off, and they gave me an A+, and they told me I'm educated and I'm wise, and go out in the world, you're educated. Now when I mention it, people get angry with me. That's what I was taught in school. That's what I've observed in my own life. When I look at men and women, I notice certain traits. If you take any psychology of sex, you will learn there are differences psychologically, obviously biologically, but also psychologically between men and women. Now, if you don't like that answer, what can I tell you? Go write Concordia University a letter. Go write the Dean of Concordia. Write him a letter and say that his courses are sexist, his science is backwards, and that he's a fool. Do it. I think he's probably going to take your letter and throw it in the trash. I think Andrew Tate, he's really good, and also he has a lot of bad. And I like the guy. I'm not trying to be negative here. I like the guy. I would just like to have a conversation with him and maybe kind of like convince him otherwise. Okay, guys, with that said, I really enjoyed this podcast as usual. Guys, I will be podcasting more regularly. I took a little break for the New Year's. Spend time with the family. Now I'm back to the routine. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and comment, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you.